多處必有饑荒、地震，這都是災難的起頭。
How unusual are the extreme heat events we've been witnessing this year?
Well, at the moment, these events still feel slightly unusual. We sort of talk about record temperatures, certainly in the Northern Hemisphere. But if we start looking forward and factor in climate change, this will become the new normal.
Now, from water shortages to wildfires, the past 12 months have raised global awareness about the economic and human cost of extreme heat events.
Many other European countries are also suffering unusually extended periods of very hot weather.
What we've been seeing in these spectacular images from across the globe in Berlin, at the Colosseum in Rome.
It's the longest eclipse this century, nearly 2 hours.
The Mendocino Complex fire has become the largest wildfire in California history. The blaze has devoured more than 1,017 square kilometers.
450 square miles. It is already the biggest ever recorded in California. It is one of 17 large fires burning in the state.
It's now the largest wildfire in state history, nearly the size of Los Angeles.
The biggest one, the Carr Fire, scorching 150 square miles. This, as we're seeing new images showing that tornado of fire from the air, growing explosively late Thursday afternoon, eating its way through entire communities.
Months of exceptionally dry weather combined with high winds and temperatures reaching about 40 degrees Celsius have created conditions firefighters say they have never before experienced.
天旱喺全球多處肆虐橫行，各個物種正以無法想像嘅速度邁向滅絕。啟示錄話俾我哋知，7個封印會帶嚟7個號角，7個號角又會召喚7個天譴之碗。第4位天使把碗倒在日頭上，叫日頭能用火烤人。人被大熱所烤，就是讀那有權掌管這些災的神之名，並不悔改將榮耀歸給神。
The city of Reading, home to more than 90,000 people, was in its path. Firefighters are using the term fire tornado to describe it.
He took us into a neighborhood left devastated, in part by a fire vortex. A weather pattern created by this fire, something that hasn't been seen here in a generation.
A European Space Agency astronaut captured these photos of the fire from the International Space Station in orbit.
But in the space of 48 hours, it had tripled in size. And then on Thursday night, the blaze exploded.
This has been the scariest one because it was so angry.
For a second day, the so-called Holy Fire erupted in Southern California, sending plumes of smoke thousands of feet into the air.
The Holy Fire, named for Holy Jim Canyon, where it started. Forrest Clark allegedly sent an email warning this place will burn before the fire broke out on Monday.
I've never seen a fire with such destruction here in this area ever before.
Today we learned July was the hottest month on record in California.
This is no ordinary fire. After sunset, the winds have picked up and made the fire increase in size overnight. This is highly unusual.
A once lively little town of about 700 people now resembles something like a faraway planet from a science fiction movie.
巴比倫的城牆也必坍塌了，我的民啊，你們要從其中出去，各人拯救自己，躲避耶和華的烈怒。
Look at this. Yeah. I mean, gone.
It's the middle of the day, but the sun can barely be seen because it's so gray and dark here. The sun can barely peek out through the thick layer of smoke and ash that covers the air, not only here, but in this entire region of California.
就好似喺度睇緊一套世界末日嘅電影一樣。
主耶和華說：到那日，我必使日頭在午間落下，使地在白晝黑暗。
And we haven't even hit peak fire season yet here in California. David?
Yeah, that's the unbelievable part of all this.
Scientists say rising global temperatures are leading to a higher risk of wildfires in the western United States.
在天上地下，我要顯出奇事，有血、有火、有煙柱。
中國，我會再次到臨。呢一次，你要認識到我係邊一個。我嘅榮耀絕唔會歸俾其他假神。呢啲係你嘅上帝耶和華講嘅。
當啟示錄嘅第二個碗倒喺海裏邊，我哋見到地球上所有河流都變成咗血，直到第三個碗。 我哋就見到海洋同江河都變成咗血。
這條河高得寬，從灣頭上這大海堡，那個燃起了黃沙的一個長江，現在已經成為一條紅河，污染之嚴重。
憤怒嘅上帝要世人知道佢嘅不悅。以前都曾經喺埃及出現過嘅十災，根據希伯來聖經，世界末日嘅時候會再發生巨災。啟示錄亦有同樣嘅警示。
第三位天使把碗倒在江河與眾水的泉源裏，水就變成血了。
A terrible outbreak of a toxic algae known as red tide is killing thousands of sea creatures in southwest.
Now with the environmental disaster plaguing more than 100 miles of American coastline.
This is an extremely unusual event for us.
This is what a marine disaster looks like. Beaches littered with dead fish, manatees, even a whale shark washing ashore.
I've been here 20 years and this is probably the worst I've ever seen.
They're dying by the tens of thousands. Fish, eels, turtles, sometimes as far as the eye can see in parts of southwest Florida. The red tide, which typically goes away in spring, has persisted for 9 months.
This is the worst it's been. It's by far.
For stranded dolphins, 6 in 24 hours.
It's pretty stinky out here and it's just a mess. Really, as far as you can see, there are just nothing but dead fish, even some eel that are out here that are dead. Let me get to one that's closer right now.
In his 28 years living in St. James City, he's never seen a fish kill as big as this.
It's absolutely devastating.
但起假誓不踐前言，殺害、偷盜、奸淫、行強暴、殺人流血接連不斷，因此這地悲哀，其上的民、田野的獸、空中的鳥必都衰微，海中的魚也必消滅。 揭開第6印的時候，我又看見地大震動，日頭變黑像毛布，滿月變紅像血。
This was one for the history books, the longest lunar eclipse in this century. For more than 100 minutes, the blood moon bathed the night skies with its red glow.
We all remember the great American eclipse that was almost 1 year ago now. And tonight, a spectacular event seen around the world, the longest total lunar eclipse of the century.
Rome has a stunning skyline, but tonight the real spectacle was the sky itself.
It was a spectacular sight that dazzled stargazers across the world.
This was a free show with no regard for borders. They gazed at the same moon in Gaza, in Israel, in Egypt.
It was the night of the red moon and the red planet. Mars was closest to the Earth and brightest in 15 years.
Oh my God, the Earth is shaking.
After the second deadly earthquake in a week, the magnitude 6.9 quake struck, sending worshippers right there running to escape a mosque.
The quake struck the island of Lombok at around 6:45 p.m. local time and rattled nearby islands, including the popular tourist destination of Bali, sending panicked crowds into the streets Sunday night.
Bali trembling so long. Not long after the earthquake, another shock, a tsunami warning.
甚至海中的魚、天空的鳥、田野的獸，並地上的一切昆蟲和其上的眾人，因見我的面，就都震動。山嶺必崩裂，陡岩必塌陷，牆垣都必坍倒。
And down near Simcoe and Bremner, it was a virtual river in the streets. You can see the water lapping up there as the heavy rain continues to hit one of the more prone spots in the city.
Wendy Squirrel captured this nutty scene, showing some vehicles and one of the city's pricey new streetcars stranded under the flooded King Street West Bridge near Liberty Village. Wendy, who lives in the area, described the dire situation streetcar passengers found themselves in, as well as some of the shenanigans that ensued.
Much of Australia's pastoral heartland has turned to dust.
It's an overwhelming drought. These cattle swarm around a water truck in New South Wales looking for relief from the devastating dryness. The ground has become too bare for grass to grow, and the weather too extreme to predict.
It's been one of the driest years on record. Crops are failing, reservoirs have dried up, and many farmers are spending tens of thousands of dollars a week importing feed and water from less badly affected areas.
So I was a boy in 65 drought. I was only 16-year-old, come home from school, and that was pretty horrendous drought. That was known to be the father of all droughts, but this one is far worse.
耶和華要使那降在你地上的雨變為塵沙，從天臨在你身上。當沙塵繼續築起，就會形成大自然入面最令人驚嘆嘅現象——沙塵暴。
犀利啊！呢度係美國嘅密茲根湖，呢場濃霧真係非比尋常。
尚在白晝，日頭昏狼。
酷熱嘅太陽將會燒焦人類。呢個係其中一個末日之前嘅先兆。喺科學界嚟講，氣候嘅轉變揭開咗呢個毋庸置疑嘅證據。
地球的確係一日比一日熱，地球正在升溫。
On Sunday night, the out-of-control flames threatened homes in the hilly Monchique district. That was after near-record temperatures that reached almost 47 degrees in some areas.
The heat waves blamed for causing wildfires across northern Europe. High temperatures and weeks of drought contributed to major wildfires, forest fires that is, in Sweden and in neighboring Norway as well, following its hottest recorded temperature in May. Forests in Latvia were torched and the border between Finland and Russia is closed because of fires there.
We've seen wildfires in places unprepared for such outbreaks due to unusually hot weather. Drought and blistering heat have been turning forests into tinderboxes in places that were previously fire-free.
These satellite images show just to what extent the heat has taken its toll on Europe, with droughts across the continent causing crop failure. Extreme conditions which scientists say could soon become the new norm.
A mountain glacier in Sweden melted so much it's no longer that country's highest point, while down at sea level folks flocked to the beach.
By a bend in the river, Spain's hottest town. It's only mid-morning and the temperature in Montoro is already above 30 Celsius. 92-year-old olive farmer Pedro Moya is sure that every year the summer months are getting hotter.
If it carries on like this, I think the earth could catch fire and the world would come to an end.
Sweden has experienced 65 fires already this year, up from an annual average of 3 fires over the past decade. Blazes are now happening as far north as the Arctic Circle. That's according to Copernicus, the European Union's Earth observation program. At least 91 people died last month in the worst wildfire to hit Greece in decades. Fire raced through a seaside area northeast of Athens.
wildfires, which are a regular problem in summer months, are fueled by these hot, dry conditions. We witnessed the fire devastation last week in Greece.
I remember when I first really noticed the changing climate was in the middle 90s at an El Nino year. If you broke a temperature record, it was by 0.1 or 0.2. So it was a rare event. Okay. To break a record by 3 or 4 degrees was unprecedented, unheard of. So I thought, well, this isn't just El Nino. There's something else going on here. And this is what we're seeing. We've seen most years since that records in any one place are broken by more than a degree, a significant amount.
Temperatures in Europe are soaring close to their highest ever. 48 degrees Celsius is the current record set in the Greek capital Athens back in 1977. This weekend's continental heat wave is expected to smash that all-time high. Hot air from Africa is baking Spain and Portugal and the Iberian Peninsula.
Highs of 36 degrees Celsius in Rome, 40 in Seville, and 41 in Merida in Spain. Europe is sweltering, with temperatures that are too hot to handle for some residents in Madrid.
In the Netherlands, officials had to close some roadways because the intense heat melted the asphalt.
At the peak of the tourist season, temperature records that have stood for 4 decades are falling.
Now the hot air is moving north towards France, where forecasters are predicting a peak of 36 degrees in Paris and Lyon on Tuesday. 3 cities in France have banned high-emissions cars from the roads to manage the pollution amid the high temperatures.
Dutch people are sweltering in their longest ever recorded heat wave. Water shortages are beginning in the Netherlands.
In Germany, the unusually hot summer has resulted in the nation's earliest recorded grape harvest. The extra heat and sunlight has caused the fruit to mature much faster than expected.
I grew up on a vineyard around here. I'm 52 years old and I've never seen the grape picking season start in the first week of August.
And northern latitude countries worldwide are facing their hottest summers in history. Dozens of Japanese died of heat-related conditions in the past 3 months as temperatures topped 40 degrees. South Korea had record-breaking highs this week. 52 degrees was recorded in California's Death Valley last month.
What's really outstanding about this summer is not that we just have it warm in Europe, but that we've seen records falling from California all the way to Japan.
So we've got to make the assumption that these things will keep getting worse and worse year upon year, whatever we do. But in the past, probably when you and I were children, we expect the weather to move around, such that we got a day of rain, a couple of days of sunshine, and then it would rain again. So that is a moving pattern. The weather patterns tend to move around the Northern Hemisphere and the Southern Hemisphere. We're talking about the Northern Hemisphere summer now. But what seems to have happened, well, what obviously has happened this year, is the movement has stopped.
Also, an important indicator of how the planet and the climate system as a whole is changing. And in fact, it would be fair to say we don't know what the full consequences would be. So as the ocean becomes increasingly exposed to the atmosphere, that has the potential to change ocean circulation in ways that could affect large parts of the planet.
On camera, a fire tornado in the British Midlands. It was sparked by a massive fire Tuesday. The fire tornado occurred after a layer of cool air got on top of the hot air, causing a swirl similar to the way a tornado is formed. It took 10 fire trucks from 3 fire companies to get...
人類最終會熱死。太陽嘅輻射同埋毒害會造成乾旱，令農作物失收。太陽熱力嘅加劇將會不斷增強，導致全球有半數人死亡。
我哋見到前所未有嘅大自然災難，我哋經常會喺新聞裏面見到，有人要逃跑到屋嘅上層，因為樓下已經變成咗一片汪洋，實在太恐怖啦！
無論大家同意邊一邊嘅講法，科學家同信徒都一致同意一件事，就係地球正在升溫，而呢個後果將會係災難性嘅。地球嘅氣溫正喺度不斷咁上升， 就算係相差幾度，都足以令世界出現恐怖嘅大災難。
暖化嘅速度係十分之驚人嘅，我哋都見到水位不斷上漲，見到有越嚟越多颶風出現，乾旱失收嘅情況加劇，大家將要掙扎求存，將會發生更多衝突，甚至會令到恐怖主義惡化。
這樣你們看見這些事漸漸的成就，也該曉得神的國近了。
切切仰望，神的日子來到。在那日，天被火燒就消化了，有形質的都要被烈火融化。但我們照他的應許，盼望新天新地，有義居在其中。親愛的弟兄哦，你們既盼望這些事，就當殷勤，使自己沒有沾污，無可指責，安然見主。